Good morning and welcome to another edition of TCC Baseball live on TCCEagles.com and YouTube. I'm Brett Rutherford alongside William Haynes. And William, Eagles off to a 3-0 start on this baseball season. And we're about to see the first of two games today against Hillsborough Community College. What do the Eagles need to do to move to 4 and hopefully 5-0 by the end of today?
I think a good start for Matt Cooper would go a long way. We saw yesterday what a quality start could do. Ethan Firerod going 5 shutout yesterday in that 7-inning game. So if Cooper is feeling himself today and the offense can get a couple of clutch hits like they've been getting all season, they should be in good shape.
It will be Matt Cooper on the bump to start things out today. Cooper got the start on opening night. Went 3 2/3 innings. No earned runs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. It ended up being a 3-2 victory over South Georgia State. Eagles will be playing games 2 and 3 on the weekend today. They were supposed to play 4 games, but with some rain, moved the schedule around on Friday. We've had a little bit of a shift. Looking at the defensive alignment for the Eagles, behind the plate will be Jacob Von Faden. Over at first base, Caleb Abshir. Justin Cruz manning second. Jason Smejkowski at shortstop. Andrew Fernandez over at third. Outfield from left to right is Dave Mitchum, Josh Pagoza, and Ziggy Thomas. The Hillsborough center fielder Morrison stepping into the box as we are about to get things underway. First pitch called, strike on the outside corner for Cooper. Winds and deals. Fouled out of play to the right side. 0-2 the count now. Breaking ball, chopper hit to Smejkowski at short. Turns and throws, makes the play.
A lot of nice plays between those two infielders yesterday. Off to a nice start here today.
I know it's early in the season, but I've already seen a pretty stark difference in the level of defense that the Eagles have brought out this year. Goes a long way in the college game. Josan Sanchez, the designated hitter at the plate now. That one called for a strike. Sanchez off to an incredible start. Just a few at-bats on the season. Takes a ball there. Hitting .444 with a .643 on-base percentage. And I'll preface that by saying, I guess I can't preface it anymore, but I'll say that he's only got 9 at-bats on the season. 4 hits, but 5 runs scored. And if you're looking to get on the board hot, Sanchez has done just that. And he shoots this one into left field. Mitchum tracking over to get it, and he does, making a nice play. The hat flies off Mitchum as he heads into the corner. Don't even know if you're able to see that on the broadcast, but turned it into a nice play, and that'll be 2 quick outs for Matt Cooper and the Eagles. Jaime now stepping in. Cooper delivers this one, called strike 1. This one a high chopper. Fernandez has to wait for it to come down. He does. Makes the throw in a very quick 1-2-3 inning for Matt Cooper. We head to the bottom half of the first. No runs, no hits, none left. You're watching TCC Baseball live on TCCEagles.com. that you said all right. And then you told us about it. Getting started here in the bottom half of the first. Shortstop Jason Smeshkowski leading off. Saw him make a nice play in the top half. Has been a big part of the Eagles' 3-0 start.
Bostic, the starter on the mound, 4 innings, 1 run allowed so far this season.
Inside pitch called for a strike to Smeshkowski. Bostic fires, this one missing low and in. This one gets him to check, but that one went a little too far, so 1-2. Through 10 at-bats on the season, Smeshkowski batting .300. Did have a home run already. Over in Santa Fe, this one rolled foul. He stays alive here.
Smeshkowski batted around in the 3rd inning yesterday. Had a single and a fly out to left.
Yesterday's win over Pasco Hernando State. This one hit to the shortstop, Jaime. Throw over to first, got him for out number 1. Ziggy Thomas stepping in now, freshman right fielder. Swings and misses at the heater there. This one hit on the ground, right, or second baseman Vidal fields it cleanly over to first, so 2 quick outs for the Hawks here in the bottom half. This will bring up Josh Pagoza. Just 9 at-bats, already a pair of doubles. He's also drawn 3 walks. 4 runs batted in for the Eagles outfielder. This one taken for a strike right on the outside part of the plate. 0-1 the count now. That one a breaking ball all the way over into the other batter's box, so evens the count at 1. This one called for a strike again on the outside part of the plate. That one looked a little low, but just right at the knees, so it will be strike 2 to Pagoza.
Big part of yesterday's game, umpire behind home plate calling a pretty wide zone. Seeing that early on today as well.
This one low, 2-2. There's a lot of baseball that's to be played, a lot of games this weekend. Just widen the zone up a little bit, get things moving. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one just off the outside part of the plate, so that'll make it a full count now with 2 away. Nobody on for the Eagles.
Nice take there with 2 strikes. Try and challenge Bostic a little bit in this first inning, make him work for it.
And a breaking ball. They'll get Pagoza swinging and missing. Bostic follows right back with a quick 1-2-3 inning of his own. We'll head to the top of the second. Will be Jacob Griffith leading off for HCC. You're watching TCC Baseball live on tcceagles.com. Moving into the second inning now, we're going to throw it over to William Haynes, take over play-by-play.
Thank you, Brett. Matt Cooper back out for his second inning. Quick 1-2-3 in the first. A lot of ground balls. Infield going to work. Cooper's first pitch here is outside to the first baseman, Jacob Griffith. His first at-bat of the game. This season, Griffith batting 167. But as Brett mentioned, very early on in the season, so a bit skewed perhaps. First base umpire pushing away Hillsborough's first base coach a little bit. 2 balls, no strikes. The count here to Griffith. The left-hander standing in against Cooper. Cooper sets and deals. And that one is just high and outside.
After a quick 1-2-3 inning, last thing you want to do is start off the second with a leadoff walk.
That one outside as well. Infield playing Griffith deep. That one is low, and a leadoff walk issued to Jacob Griffith, first base runner for the Hawks today. And with 1 on and nobody out, that'll bring up the right fielder, Dylan Besnier. Besnier this season, 273 in just 11 at-bats. One of 3 home runs for the Hawks this season does belong to him, though. He tries to lay down a bunt, but it goes foul. 0-1.
Yeah, Besner played each of the last 2 seasons at the University of South Florida, including the USF team that went to a super regional last year. An incredible run for the Bulls. Stayed in Tampa, now at HCC.
Had a reliever yesterday for Pasco Hernando State that was previously had spent time at USF, so a couple of Bulls here in the Tallahassee area this weekend. No balls, 1 strike to count after the failed bunt attempt, as that one is taken inside for strike 2. Griffith taking a pretty healthy lead off the first base bag. Micaiah Johnson holding him on. Or it's actually Caleb Absher at first base today. Scratch that as that one is fouled away back down the right side.
Yeah, infield and double play depth. We've seen both Cruz and Smeshkowski be able to turn it this year, including that 6-4-3 to end the opening night game against South Georgia State. Infield defense has been pretty lights out to start the year for TCC.
Besner will step out now, gets back in the box. Cooper looking for that put away on 0-2. Griffith takes his lead. The pitch is high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now goes the count.
Not a huge lead from Griffith. Not really a threat to steal here, I'm guessing.
And a cut and a miss there. And back to the dugout goes Dylan Besner. First strikeout of the day for Matt Cooper.
That's huge from Cooper. You walk the leadoff guy, you get back on the bump, and you throw the high heat there to set Besner down. Now you still get that ground ball, get a double play, get yourself out of the inning.
Now stepping in is the second baseman, Andre Vidal. First pitch to him is swung on and missed. 0-1. Vidal's first appearance of the season for the Hawks, playing today at second base. 1 on and 1 out. Slider outside. Vidal doesn't offer at it. Count levels at 1-1.
Yeah, he had Griffith take a big jump off of his lead. Thought for a second he might try to steal the bag. But again, that lead's still not very large.
First baseman Absher still holding him on. Another slider outside, and once again, Vidal doesn't swing. The 2-1. Runner goes right to the second baseman, Cruz, and as he goes to step on the second base bag, the ball comes loose. So everybody's going to be safe. Griffith gets into second base, and Vidal runs out the fielder's choice. 2 on, and now 1 out.
Yeah, that'll be an E4 on Justin Cruz. I think he was starting to think, if I field this ball, do I have enough time to step on second and still turn and make the throw? You start thinking that far ahead instead of focusing on the out right in front of you, and that's what happens. And I guess I spoke a little too soon about the infield being lights out. No harm, no foul yet. Nobody scored yet in this inning, but with 1 out, you're still 1 double play ball away from getting out of it.
Ty Hollandsworth, the left fielder, at the plate now, just his second at-bat of the season. Runners at first and second take their lead. Matt Cooper deals, and that one is taken low. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. So Cooper missing outside to some right-handers here. Walked the leadoff man, Griffith. As Hillsborough Community College threatens early. The 2-0. And that one high and outside, but called the strike. Just caught that outside part of the plate. That one is laced into left and goes just a couple of feet foul of that left field line.
Yeah, those base runners were off to the races. That would have definitely scored Griffith. Would have been interesting to see if Vidal tried to score all the way from first. It would have depended on how far that ball got down the line and how quickly Dave Mitchum out and left was able to track it down. Well, a nice piece of hitting there from Ty Hollandsworth, just a little bit foul.
Hillsborough still looking for their first hit of the day. Would give them an early lead here. Top of the second, no score. But runners at first and second for the Hawks. Cooper deals. Outside. Taken. And it'll be 2-1. 3-1 now the count. Actually, will be a payoff pitch here. And here it is for Cooper. Runner started to run, but didn't go out as Hollandsworth fans for the second out of the inning. Now the last gasp here for the Hawks will be the catcher, Mario Lopez.
When Cooper can get into those 2-strike counts, he's really trusting his fastball, putting it high in the zone. It's really hard for these hitters, especially when he's mixing it up leading up to that last pitch, to get around and make any contact on that high fastball. It worked against Besner, and it worked there against Hollandsworth. Now Cooper has a chance to get out of this with 2 outs.
That one got away from the catcher, and the base runners are going to advance, but they just go 90 feet. So on a pitch that gets away from Jacob Von Thaden, it'll now be second and third with 2 outs.
Still no sweat here, no harm, no foul. You've got 2 outs. You don't really need to worry about the base runners unless Lopez can come up with a base hit here. Then you're trying to figure out how you can limit Vidal from scoring from second. Right now, get the out in front of you. You get out of this, and the game remains scoreless.
One nothing the count here to the catcher Lopez. Cooper deals, pulls back at that one. 2-0 now. It's Griffith running at third, Vidal at second. Base hit that gets through the infield would likely score 2 with 2 outs. That one put on the ground, gets past Cooper. Smashkowski has, and his throw to first is in time. So the Hawks get a couple of runners in scoring position, but leave them there. So headed to the bottom of the second, we are still scoreless. Bottom second of this first 7-inning game of today's doubleheader between these two schools. Eagles getting their second hack at Murphy Bostic, and it'll be Marco Dinges, the designated hitter, to step in to get things started off. Dinges, a couple of big hits yesterday, 2 RBI single and an RBI single in the next inning for the scoring for the Eagles. Grounds that one at third base, but it's going to get past the third baseman, Sebastian Burgess, and he's going to go all the way to second. The throw is going to be not in time.
I actually think that throw was in time, but Dinges with a great slide all the way to the right side of the bag, gets around the second baseman, Vidal, there.
So Tallahassee, who did not have an extra base hit at all in yesterday's game, get one here in the second inning with a leadoff double for Marco Dinges, the designated hitter today.
I was going to let you decide whether or not I graded that one as a double or an E5 in my book, but we'll go with double. Happy Sunday, everybody.
Absher now playing first base here today. First pitch from Bostic is just off the plate for ball one. Dinges taking a decent lead off second, now leans back in. Now this one from Bostic is called a strike over the plate. Corners playing in here against Absher. Now this one from Bostic is outside. Nice take there by Absher to get himself into a 2-1 count.
I want to go back and note just how great of a play that was from Smeshkowski. That's not an easy ball to come in the field. You got a base runner at second that kind of blocked his vision for a split second, but fielded it cleanly, comes up and makes a great throw over to Absher to not only get out of the inning but save a run.
Bostic checks back to second base. Dinges playing a little bit of a game with him. That one off the plate. Another good take by Absher. 3 balls and 1 strike now.
And when Hillsborough leaves 2 runners in scoring position like that, what a great opportunity to come up the very next half inning and put a run or 2 on the board, really take advantage of their missed opportunity.
Eagles have scored first in both of their home games so far this season. Looking to do so in the third here on this Sunday afternoon. This one from Bostic outside and a nice walk worked by the first baseman Caleb Absher. And with nobody out, it'll be first and second for Justin Cruz. First walk of the day issued by Murphy Bostic. Gave up a run over 4 innings his last time out. The Eagles threatening here early. Cruz this season with a 200 average and a total of 10 at-bats. Steps out of the box there. Dingus at second, Absher at first. Still nobody out. Bottom second, no score. Bostic looking back at second base. Now the pitch. Cruz showed bunt but pulled back.
And Cruz also scored the first run of the season for the Eagles back in the third inning on Monday night. Drew a walk, was moved over on a sacrifice bunt, came all the way around to score.
Small ball and sacrifice plays played a big part yesterday as well. Looks like Cruz is going to show bunt. Pulls back before the pitch. And that one taken for ball 2. First baseman Jacob Griffith came up way into the infield grass, expecting that one. Now the catcher, Mario Lopez, is going to come out to have a chat with Murphy Bostic along with the Hawks coach.
And yeah, with 2 men on and nobody out, the way Coach Mack has kind of managed so far this season, you'd think that, we saw Cruz show bunt on that first pitch. You'd think they're considering laying one down, moving these guys over. You're at the bottom part of your lineup now after Cruz with Mitchum, Von Thaden, and Fernandez due up after him. Maybe just create an opportunity for one of those guys to put one in play and drive in a run. But looks like right now, Cruz in a 2-0 count might be thinking about swinging away. Although here he goes, shows butt again.
Griffith creeping up. Second baseman goes over to potentially cover first. The pitch from Bostic, and that one is put in a right, chased by the right fielder, and he's going to put a glove up, but it goes over his glove. 1 run is going to score. Throw comes in, the cutoff man. Another run is going to come, but they hold him instead. So call it an RBI double there for Justin Cruz over the head of the right fielder Dylan Besner. Eagles have runners at second and third, still with nobody out, and a chance to add on. So
you saw him lay down the bunt and then pull it back, come out swinging and put some great contact on it there. That one was a tough play for Besner. He still got close, but ended up going over the glove, rolling all the way back to the fence. It probably would have scored too. You see Abshir hanging at third base, but he had to wait and see if that ball was going to be caught, so couldn't take off on contact.
Base runners advance each 2 bases. RBI double from Cruz brings in Dingus from second and moves Caleb Absher from first to third. 0-1 count to the left fielder Dave Mitchum. The right-hander in against Bostic. 2 extra base hits in 1 inning for the Eagles. It's a good sight to see. I'm sure they had that a couple of times on the road in Gainesville against Santa Fe, but the first time we've seen this kind of offensive explosion here at home.
Yeah, like you said, it's been a lot of small ball, a lot of manufacturing, moving guys over. They've been taking advantage of some defensive mistakes. Like I think they kind of have this inning, even though we're going to score those both doubles. Those are plays that both Burgess at third and Besner and right probably could have made on another day. But Eagles doing their job by just making hard contact and finding gaps and getting it the ball down the line and good base running. And they've got an early lead, a chance to add a couple more here.
Getting in a hitter's counts has been a big part of their success, I think, today as well. A pitch called a strike on the outside. Oh, and 2 here to Mitchum. Just 3 at-bats going into today for the freshman. Getting some action here in the field. Swings and misses at that pitch. He's going to make contact with it, but the catcher throws over to first to complete the strikeout. So runners stay where they are. First out of the inning. And with 2 runners in scoring position, it will be the catcher, Jacob Von Thaden.
Von Thaden making his second appearance of the season. I'm assuming we'll see Ethan Kreisen in the second leg of this doubleheader.
Quick throw over to second. Bostic, I think, had been thinking about that for most of the inning. Keeping Cruz honest.
Yeah, it's not a difficult play, but you've always got to be careful throwing behind the runner there. If that one gets away or hits the base runner, that would give an opportunity for Absher to come across and score.
Yeah, that throw over to second when you've got a man at third. Bit risky, perhaps. Bostic now deals to Von Thaden, who pops that one up. And will it stay in play? It does, and a diving catch made by Mario Lopez.
That one came out of the glove.
Came out of the glove, so it was right in front of the bleachers there.
Yeah, really tough angle to see for us up here, and I don't think it would have been visible at all on the stream. But, yeah, great effort from Lopez. Came all the way down by the fence here behind home plate. And I think it maybe just nicked off his glove. I don't even know if he got that close. It would have been a tough play, but strike one.
Thaden staying alive there. Absher running at third, Cruz at second. Eagles with a 1-0 lead here at the bottom of the second inning. That pitch from Bostic called a strike on the outside. And now quickly, Von Thaden's got himself in an 0-2 hole.
Yeah, Von Thaden's got to protect right now with the infield depth. If you put one in play, there's still a good chance Absher scores, even if it's a grounder. If you hit one hard to the first or third baseman, it'll be tough, but just put one in play and see what happens.
Yeah, with one out, would love to get one in the outfield potentially. Puts that one in a left, but it's going to go foul.
He was all over that breaking ball from Bostic. It'll be interesting to see what he does on this next pitch. If he goes back to the breaking ball, or now, if he thinks he's got Von Thaden off balance, if he goes back to the heat.
The slider down and away has been a big one for Bostic. Trying to put guys away. He's got that in his back pocket. Another 0-2. And that one is going to put in left, and that one is going to go fair. Rolls all the way down towards the warning track, picked up by Hollinsworth. 2 runs are going to score on a 2 RBI double standing up for Jacob Von Thaden.
That's what I'm talking about. You go through the middle of the order, you head into the bottom half of the order, you get those early base runners on. Gives an opportunity for guys like Cruz and Von Thaden, and now Andrew Fernandez, who will get another at-bat with still a runner in scoring position for the Eagles. An absolutely huge double there from Jacob Von Thaden, the 3rd extra base hit of the inning for TCC.
Bats are coming alive here in Tallahassee this afternoon. 3-0 now, the lead for your Eagles. Bostic deals to Fernandez, and that one gets away from the catcher Lopez, and the runner is going to take off and scoot into third base standing up. So no slotting required here for Von Thaden as he's now got himself at third base. I believe that one an easily pass ball for Lopez.
Yeah, I think that's a fair decision. That's how I scored it. Neither of us the official score, but I like to think that I am. I like to think that whatever goes in my book is the true recording of history here at Eagle Field.
This one from Bostic, low and inside. That time blocked by Lopez. There was a play in the top of this inning, kind of a slider that got away from Matt Cooper. Ends up being a wild pitch, I believe. Advanced a couple of base runners, but Cooper able to get out of it. Thanks to a nice defensive play by Zmeshkowski. Man at third and only 1 out. So sacrifice play certainly in the cards for the switch hitting third baseman Andrew Fernandez. Payoff pitch. No, sorry. Now it's going to be a payoff pitch. 3-1.
See the Hillsborough infield kind of shaded in.
Puts that one on the ground to the first baseman, Jacob Griffith. He's going to go home with it, and the tag from Lopez is good to get the runner Von Thaden coming home. So Fernandez gets to first on the fielder's choice. Heads up play defensively there by the Hawks to go home for the out.
Yeah, Von Thaden, I'm okay with the aggression. You've already put 3 runs up on the board. You know, he ended up being out pretty easily. But Vidal's going to have to make, or was it the first baseman, would have to make, the throw there. They've got to field the ball cleanly. I'm okay with going on contact, trying to see if you can get that 4th run. And you still have Fernandez on base safely with 2 outs here, but you're at the top of the order.
Smeshkowski now comes up for his second at-bat of the game. Grounded out to short in the first. Takes that pitch outside for ball 1. Fernandez fairly short lead over at first base. Griffith holding him on. Now he's going to go. The throw from Lopez. There's going to be no throw.
Yeah.
Pump thought about it, but Fernandez was already pretty much on his way, so the catcher decides to live to see another day.
I was going to bring it up right before that pitch. I wonder, speaking on aggression, if the Eagles would think about moving Fernandez over to second, or at least trying to. If he gets out, you're starting the 3rd inning at the top of your order. And now you give Smeshkowski, one of your best hitters, a chance to drive in the 4th run.
Fernandez taking a pretty wide lead over at second base as well. Trying to make things as uncomfortable as possible for Murphy Bostic, who's already given up 3 runs in this inning. So you got a man at second base and one of your best hitters and a 2-1 count. Fernandez still with that lead over at second base, jumping up and down. Smeshkowski lays it down foul down the third base line. And that'll level the count at 2-2. Vidal creeped in to cover second base. Bostic looks back, but now he'll deal to Smeshkowski, who puts that one into right, and that's going to get down for a base hit. They're going to wait Fernandez home. The throw from the right fielder, Besner, and he gets away. And so Fernandez is home safe, and Smeshkowski will scoot over to second to keep the line moving.
Another huge hit from Jason Smeshkowski. Going to get all the way over to second as that throw came into home and got away from the catcher, Lopez. That throw coming in from Dylan Besner. But now a 4-run inning, and once again, you're the number 2 hitter, Ziggy Thomas. He's got a runner on second, a chance to add to this lead and really try to pile on here on Hillsborough early on.
RBI single there for Smeshkowski to bring in Fernandez. That one popped up in the air but fouled down the left side for Ziggy Thomas, who grounded to second in his first time. The one true lefty in this Eagles lineup, Fernandez, who we just saw hit switch. The 0-1 here to Thomas. And that one is put on the ground. On the right side. 0-2 after the foul ball.
Look at Marco Dinges, who's in the hole right now. He led off this inning with a double. That was 4 runs ago, however.
Chance for the Eagles to potentially bat around in back-to-back days. 2 outs here in the inning, 0-2 count. That one put up in the air. The center fielder, Landon Morrison, is under it. And it's going to go into his glove for out number 3. So, really nice inning for the Eagles. That included 3 extra base hits. They got 4 runs on total. So, heading to the top of the third, your Eagles lead 4-0. You're watching TCC Baseball on TCCEagles.com.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges, eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to 4-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
With the Eagles protecting a 4-0 lead, I throw it back to my broadcast partner, Brett Rutherford.
Thank you, William. And I knew as soon as we started doing this even odd split of the innings that you were going to get all of the exciting innings. You get a 4-run bottom half of the second to give the Eagles a lead. Now moving into the third, Matt Cooper has got a bit of a cushion to work with here. First pitch outside for ball one. Sebastian Burgess at the plate now, the third baseman for Hillsborough. This one in for a strike, so 1-1 the count now. Cooper delivers. Misses high, ball two. We talked a lot about small ball in the last half inning. The Eagles have usually scored. Here's the next pitch from Cooper. This one in for a strike, so 2-2 the count. But we're talking about small ball, and all of a sudden the Eagles come out with 4 hits, 3 of them for extra bases. And the bats are alive here early on Sunday here at Eagle Field. Cooper steps back onto the rubber. 2-2 the count now to Burgess. And now Burgess will call time over at home, so Cooper will step off once again. And we'll hopefully get a 2-2 pitch here now. This one misses high. Count goes full. Landon Morrison on deck, the Hawks center fielder. Grounded out to Smeshkowski to lead off the game back in the first. This one misses and gets by Von Faden. And even with this deep backstop, it won't be enough for Burgess to even think about moving to second. But a leadoff walk. Cooper walked the leadoff hitter, Jacob Griffith, in the second. Was able to get out of it, but not something you want to make a habit of doing, especially with the top of Hillsborough's order coming up, and it will be Landon Morrison here now.
These top 3 hitters all made pretty decent contact in the first inning, but a couple of well-played defensive moves.
Burgess thought about going, but this one comes off the glove of Von Faden, and he'll be able to move to second easily on this one. With that one being high, that will be a wild pitch, however. But Von Faden, even though you've got to come out of your crouch, that one hits the glove. You got to bring that one in. You can't let him take a free base, especially after the leadoff walk. So now Hillsborough in business here. Nobody out, man on second.
So just 2+ innings into this game, 2 walks and 2 wild pitches here for Cooper.
Now that one, another ball, so 2-0 the count. And Hillsborough already with some motion down in their bullpen. Three 3-0 the count now.
Von Faden's going to come out to have a little chat with his pitcher.
Looks like right-handed pitcher Richie Simprick was down there moving. Not throwing anymore, so maybe he's ready to go. And that might be the end of it for Murphy Bostic once we get to the other half of the inning. But for the Eagles, now we get a mound visit from Coach McLeod talking with his pitcher. Or now he's having a discussion with his catcher, Jacob Von Faden. He said, "You gotta help your pitcher out. You had the leadoff walk. Got to help them get settled down. Can't let those balls go to the backstop. You know, even with the 4-run cushion, still a lot of baseball left here. You want to keep that cushion for as long as you'd like to keep it for all 7 innings.
And that's kind of how it went yesterday. You had that early 5-0 lead, and then all of a sudden you let the Bobcats kind of creep back into it, and they made it interesting. They got the tying run to the plate in the 7th inning. So Eagles trying to avoid a repeat of that. I think a nice move to come out and talk to Cooper. You want him to have a fairly deep start today, so allow him to kind of reset with a runner at second and a 3-0 count to the guy at the plate.
Even though we're blocked by the shed, it also looks like there is some movement down in the Eagle bullpen. Can't see who that is. So Cooper comes set, 3-0 pitch, and that'll be ball 4. So mound visit didn't really help with that at-bat, but now you got 2 men on, you got a double play opportunity. It'll be Joson Sanchez at the plate. Sanchez flew out to left in his first trip. This one, looping breaking ball, goes all the way to the other batter's box. So 1-0 the count, and Cooper still struggling to find the strike zone here in the 3rd. Cruz keeping the runner honest over at second. Cooper steps off here. Sanchez stays in the box, however, and now Cooper is on the rubber and set. Here's the pitch. High, 2-0 the count. And this is a case where if that whoever's pitching down in the bullpen isn't moving quickly, they might need to be now, as Cooper really struggling here. This one low and away, 3-0 now.
2 walks in that opening day start.
And Coach Mack already back on that top step. Three-0 pitch from Cooper. This one outside. Ball 4. Bases are now loaded for Hillsborough.
I think now you've got no choice but to make the move, and they're going to.
Yep, here comes Coach Mack out to make the move. That'll be the end of the day for Matt Cooper. He got through 2 scoreless, but now on the hook for the 3 runners on base with nobody out here in the top of the 3rd. We'll step back after this pitching change. You're watching TCC Baseball live on tcceagles.com and YouTube.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges, eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to 4-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
So it'll be Campbell Cleveland entering the game now for the Eagles after 3 straight walks to open up the top of the third for Matt Cooper. And he'll be facing the number 3 hitter in this Hillsborough lineup. And not an easy task for Cleveland laid out here. Only 1 appearance on the season. That was back on Monday night at inning and 2/3. And first pitch swinging is Jaime over to Smeshkowski. Over to Cruz. Now 6-4-3 double play. You'll easily trade 2 outs for a run there. And on 1 pitch, Campbell Cleveland made this inning look a lot less scary.
Now batting number 7, Jacob Griffith.
Still a runner on third, though, and it's now 4-1. First pitch, low and in, knocked down by Von Faden. Good work there. Make sure that run doesn't come across on a wild pitch or a passed ball.
Yeah, Cleveland did get the win on Monday, but he came into that game against South Georgia State with a couple of inherited base runners given by Ethan Firod, and he allowed a couple of them to score. So
Yeah.
a nice job by him this time to get a double play coming right into the game.
Yeah, even though a couple of those inherited runners did score, I think it's important. Coach McLeod showing Cleveland that he'll trust them in these situations to get those big outs, to get those ground balls. And he did right here in the third. Huge play there. The Hawks had the tying run at the plate after a 4-run second for TCC. Now they're 1 out away from getting out of this with just 1 run allowed, but still a big out to get here with Jacob Griffith at the plate. He walked in his first time up. This one called for a strike, so 2-2 the count now. Griffith will step back in. Campbell Cleveland coming set and trying to put him away here. 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Jacob Griffith left standing there in the left-handed batter's box. But a huge inning for Campbell Cleveland as TCC holds the Hawks to just 1 run after they loaded the bases with nobody out. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Eagles still leading 4-1. You're watching TCC Baseball on tcceagles.com.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges, eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
Down to the bottom of the third, and it was a bit of a scare there, William. But Eagles only allow 1 run to score, and they still hold a 3-run lead. They're still in the meat of their order here.
Three-run lead, as we talked about a little earlier, only a 7-inning game, so less time you have to hold on.
And also you see Coach Mack kind of aggressively managing his bullpen, and I think it was clear that Matt Cooper was really struggling up there. Don't know how much longer he could have went and what it would have looked like if he had stayed on the mound. but still got, in those first 2 innings, 6 very valuable outs in what's going to be a short game, so you don't know who's all available. Strike called there, so 1-2 the count now to Pagosa. This one, shot into left center field. It's going to be a tough play for Morris, and it goes over his head all the way to the wall. Pagosa with extra bases here to lead off the bottom of the third.
And the Eagles pick up right where they left off.
That is the 4th double of the game, and the 4th in just 2 innings for the Eagles. We've got doubles now for Josh Pagosa, Marcos Dingus, who's at the plate now, Justin Cruz, and Jacob Von Faden. It is still Murphy Bostic out there on the mound for Hillsborough.
Got someone warming up down there. A couple of guys, actually.
Bostic comes set. This one, slider called for a strike on the outside part of the plate. 0-1 now. After today's game, Eagles will host Abraham Baldwin Agricultural College, who played here yesterday afternoon. That game going to be on Tuesday. They'll host College of Central Florida on Wednesday before Shelton State comes to town this weekend. Bostic in for a strike. 0-2 now. Bostic set, and here is the pitch to Dingus. Taken, low and away. Ball 1. Like I said, Dingus got the Eagles started in the 5th with that double down the third base line. Came around to score, was the first of 4 runs to score in that inning. And a chance to get another base hit here to add to the tally. One, fouled back, so stays at 1-2. But Dean just reaching out, getting that outside fastball, shooting it back behind us here in the press box. The 1-2 pitch from Bostic as he keeps close tabs on Pagosa at second. Here it is. This one misses low and away, so 2-2 now. Dean just with 4 hits on the season now in his 4th game. And 4 runs batted in. Called for a strike. So that'll set Dingus down. That one just on the outside part of the plate, or at least that's how the umpire saw it. That'll be out number 1. That'll bring up Caleb Abshire, who after the Dingus double in the 2nd, he drew a walk. That was his 6th walk drawn of the season. And if you want to quickly work your way onto my favorite players list, or towards the top of my favorite players list, and I love everybody on this Eagles team, but be a guy that has the ability to draw walks, get those free passes, I'm all for it. Abshire done that earlier on this season, and he's been a huge threat in the 5-hole for TCC. That one in for a strike, so 1-1 now. Yeah, when you've played 3 or 4 games and you only have 1 hit, but you're rocking that .538 on base percentage, you're still doing a lot of things right. You're not chasing. Maybe they're pitching around you. Does swing and miss there. And I think you did chase that one a little bit. Man, I've got to stop with these jinxes early on. I mean, William, I think the last time you were here, you talked about how fast the game was moving along, and then we played for another 2.5 hours, it felt like. So I think you learned your lesson on that one, and we won't say anything about that moving forward. 1-2 pitch. Abshire swings and misses. So back-to-back strikeouts for Murphy Bostic, and 2 outs in the inning now.
And you did it to Abshire as well.
I did. I mean, I was talking about his previous performances. I wasn't, trying to predict how this current at-bat would go, but it still stands that he's drawn 6 walks on the season in just his 4th game. But now Justin Cruz at the plate, and Pagosa still sitting there on second base. 2 outs now, so a base hit. You think they'll probably be a little bit more aggressive as Cruz first pitch swinging. Fouls this one back for strike 1. Bostic comes set. Pitch from Bostic. It was a breaking ball, swung on and missed by Cruz. So 0-2 now. O2 pitch. And another strikeout as Murphy Bostic bounces back up to the leadoff double and strikes out the side. 1 hit and 1 left, but nothing going for the Eagles in the bottom of the 3rd. The score remains 4-1 here on TCCEagles.com.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges, eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to 4-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
All right, we're here at the top of the 4th, and before I pass it off to my broadcast partner, William Haynes, I'll call this at bat with Dylan Besner at the plate. Like I said, last 2 years, Besner had an issue here down the 3rd base line before we get underway. But Besner played the last 2 years at the University of South Florida for the Bulls in the American Athletic Conference. Before that, played his high school baseball at Riverview High School, my hometown, Riverview, Florida. First pitch from Cleveland, and Besner's first pitch swinging. This one down the left field line. A base hit for Besner. He'll try for second. No, he'll hold up, slip a little bit on the dirt. But 1 pitch and a base hit. The Hawks have another base runner here coming off the bat of Dylan Besner. And with that, I'll pass it right back to William Haynes to get us going through the rest of the 4th inning.
Thank you, Brett. So after that leadoff single by Dylan Besner, it will be The second baseman, Andre Vidal, got on base via fielder's choice in the second. Now Cleveland battling with a man on. Vidal shows bunt but pulls back. Call the strike though, so it's 0-1. Besner a short lead off of first. Absher holding him on. And now this one from Cleveland. And home plate umpire is going to say, I think he went around. So Matt Cooper, his line is finished. He goes 2+ innings, no hits, 1 run allowed. An inherited runner for Campbell Cleveland, 4 walks and 2 strikeouts. So not the kind of day that you love to have, but the Eagles were able to withstand it. And thanks to some crafty pitching by Campbell Cleveland, getting a double play ball and a strikeout, we're able to keep a bases loaded, no out situation to only 1 run allowed.
Yeah, you don't love that walk to strikeout ratio, but the most important column in that stat line is runs and earned runs, and those stayed as 0. Well, I guess the 1 run came in. Those stayed at just 1, and with the 4 walks, you're more than okay with Cooper's performance. And baseball's a team game, and his teammate Campbell Cleveland stepped up big time to help put out that fire last inning.
Also worth mentioning that leadoff single for Besner, the first hit of the day for Hillsborough.
That's a good point.
That pitch gets away from the catcher, Von Thaden, and that will allow Besner to get over to second base. So the Hawks get themselves another runner in scoring position.
It's a full count now, and now Campbell Cleveland has some work to do.
Here's the payoff pitch. Grounded down the left side, but foul. Got him jammed inside on that one, and he'll stay alive for 1 more.
2 other players from Riverview High School other than Dylan Besner or Cameron Vi, who I think we'll see behind the plate in the second game, and Brendan Herrick, right-handed pitcher, all played at Riverview.
Another 3-2. And that one is put on the ground. Zmeshkowski, the shortstop, Scott, fumbles with it for a little bit. His throw to first is going to be in time for the first out of this inning. It allows Besner to get over to third base.
Yeah, that one took a wacky hop. You thought Zmeshkowski, it looked like he was expecting that one to bounce up a little bit higher to him. You can't really expect it. You've got to go to try to get it right on the hop, and it kind of died there in the infield. Besner got the third, and he ended up having to dive back in. I think he thought that Zmeshkowski might be moving over to third if Besner came around a little too much. But still, a great play to be able to pick it up, throw over to first, get that first out.
First pitch here to Hollinsworth is called a strike. So with a man at third and only 1 out, the corners of the infield will creep up to the very front of the dirt. Middle infield playing back. Sacrifice play potential, no doubt, as there's a foul ball grounded towards the left side. 0-2 here, quickly to Hollinsworth. To get maybe an unproductive out here from him and get yourself potentially out of this inning scoreless, prevent the sacrifice play. Besner takes his lead off at third.
Strike 3
called strike 3 to Ty Hollinsworth. He'll head back to the dugout. Second strikeout for Campbell Cleveland. And with 2 outs, that'll bring up the catcher Mario Lopez.
Huge strikeout from Campbell Cleveland there. Make it quick to retire Hollinsworth.
First pitch to him is grounded right to Zmeshkowski. Sets and throws over to first, and Abshir's got it for out number 3. So a leadoff single that ends up getting all the way to third base, but no harm done as Cleveland is able to get out of it. Bottom of the 4th coming up. You're watching TCC Baseball on TCCEagles.com and YouTube.
Tallahassee Community College has been named as one of the top 10 community colleges in the nation. The Aspen Institute recognizes institutions from across the country that have exceptional achievements and a total commitment to improving student outcomes. The college was recognized as one of the nation's premier community colleges, eligible to compete for the prestigious $1 million Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence because of its focus on student access and success, its workforce training initiatives, a seamless and high transfer rate to four-year colleges and universities, and its many varied and productive community partnerships. This recognition from the Aspen Institute is a testament to the wonderful work of the faculty, staff, and leadership at Tallahassee Community College.
Bottom of the fourth now here in Tallahassee. New pitcher on for the Hillsborough Community College Hawks as they go to the bullpen. Murphy Bostic's day is done. It'll be the right-hander Richie Simprick. Simprick, the right-handed sophomore. And he'll stand in against the bottom of the Eagles' order. Lays a bunt down towards the third base side. The throw is going to be in time. Beautiful play there made by Sebastian Burgess to get Dave Mitchum, who was trying to get a leadoff bunt single, but instead he's thrown out at first.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that call could have gone either way. Bang, bang play over at first. Umpire with the emphatic out call.
One out, base is empty. That'll bring up the catcher, Jacob Von Thaden, who had a 2 RBI double his first time up. And he came to the plate in that one just looking to lay a bunt down, and instead in a 2-0 count, pulls back and shoots one over the head of the right fielder, Dylan Besner.
I want to give credit to Murphy Bostic. He had a really rough, third or second inning when the Eagles put up 4. And maybe he didn't have a whole lot of help from his defense, but ultimately those runs are all against him. And then gives up a leadoff double to Josh Pagosa in the third, but then follows that up with 3 straight strikeouts to work his way out of this. Team's still in it. It's only a 3-run game. And so Murphy Bostic, I think, despite that rough second, really put it all together back in the third to keep his team in it.
He would be in line for the loss. His line finishes 3 innings pitched, so there's 1 outside. 5 hits, 4 runs allowed, 1 walk, and 5 strikeouts. And now Richie Simprick comes on to replace him in the 4th. This one here to Von Thaden. And that one is grounded towards the third baseman. Burgess has it, and his throw to first is going to be good for out number 2. It's a 2-5-3 putout to start this 4th, as the bottom of the Eagles lineup is getting their second hacks of the game. And now with 2 outs and the bases clear, it'll be the third baseman, Andrew Fernandez. Got on base via fielder's choice in the second. Was able to steal second base. Caught all the way home on an RBI single by Jason Zmeskowski. This one from Simprick. Foul back to the screen. 0-1. Fernandez pops that one up. Is it going to stay in play? No, it does not. This goes back and over the screen. Now after a couple foul balls, Fernandez himself in a quick 0-2 hole. And the reliever Simprick trying to get through a quick 1-2-3 inning. 4-1 is your score. Big inning in the second for TCC. They put up a 4 spot, and they allowed 1 by the Hawks in the third. Fouled back right to the catcher, so the count will remain 0-2. Pitch taken high, so Fernandez stays alive here. Now this one from Simprick. Down and in another take, so now after starting out 0-2, Fernandez has worked the count even. Fouled back to the screen again. So Fernandez really making Simprick work for this one. Smeshkowski getting warmed up on the on-deck circle. He would come to the plate if Fernandez would beat a reach. Another 2-2. Grounded to the right side. The second baseman's got it. His short throw to first is good. So quick 1-2-3 inning for the reliever Simprick coming in for the Hawks. Still a 4-1 game as we're through 4. Top of the 5th next. You're watching TCC Baseball on tcceagles.com. With a 4-1 Eagles lead, top of the 5th, I turn it back over to my broadcast partner, Brett Rutherford.
There's an issue on our scoreboard that was showing 4-0. It is 4-1. Eagles lead. And that first pitch into Burgess is called a strike. Campbell Cleveland back on the mound here in the top of the 5th. Two quick strikes from Cleveland. 0-2 the count now to Burgess. And that one going to miss just outside. Breaking ball right off the plate. So 1-2 the count. Burgess walked and scored Hillsborough's lone run. This one, a chopper over to the first baseman, Caleb Abshir. He collects it and takes it himself for out number 1.
Now batting number 15, Landon Morrison.
That'll bring up the top of the order for Hillsborough. Landon Morrison at the plate. He is in center field for the Hawks. Grounded out to short in his first trip. Walked, moved all the way over to third in the third, but was stranded there when Campbell Cleveland entered the game, and Cleveland starts him out with a strike here. Cleveland comes set and delivered and fouled off way out of play, so 0-2 the count. Cleveland working exclusively out of the stretch, as a lot of relievers option to do. You know, you've got to be used to coming into all different types of situations, so sometimes having a wind-up in your arsenal just isn't worth it. You just get comfortable pitching out of the stretch all the time. In Cleveland, the way he's been used in his first 2 outings this season, he's come in with runners on.
One of the first times he has a chance with bases empty.
That one breaking ball, another one fouled back. So count still at 0-2. This one misses high, though. One-two pitch. Fernandez in to get this one over to first. That 5-3 put out number 2. Brings up Joshan Sanchez. Fernandez, one of the few returning players on this team. Campbell, Cleveland, another one. Known a lot for his gloves, especially over there at the hot corner, and makes a nice play there for the second out of the inning. This one misses high and in to Sanchez, the designated hitter. Cleveland delivers. Strike one. So Eagles still working with a 3-run lead. Only 7 outs left to get the first win today. Move to 4-0 on the year. And there's strike 2 again. Another one on the outside part of the plate. That one looked like it might have been a changeup. Sanchez probably thought that was a little off the plate. Cleveland gets the call. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Rolled over to the shortstop, Smeshkowski, and he's over to Cleveland. Another 1-2-3 inning for the Eagles. This one with Campbell, Cleveland on the mound. No runs on no hits, no errors, and none left. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Eagles leading 4-1. And we're back here in the bottom of the 5th. Jason Smeshkowski leading it off for TCC. He's at a nice day defensively, and he's also 1 for 2 on the day with a single back in the second. That one scored Fernandez to make it 4-0 at the time. And he takes the first pitch for a ball. This one in for a strike. So 1-1 the count now. Simprick is back on the mound for Hillsborough, and Smeshkowski takes this one up the middle, but it will be fielded by Jaime. Over to first, out number 1. Great play. Jaime moving over to his left. That'll bring up Ziggy Thomas with nobody on and one out. Again, a reminder, this is a 7-inning contest. Both games of this doubleheader will be. A lot of games to get in this weekend, so the junior college level, they'll play 7 innings. Ziggy Thomas showed bunt. He foul-tipped it. Goes to the backstop. So that will be strike one. We've seen 7-inning doubleheaders at the major league level the last 2 seasons as they're dealing with scheduling when it comes to the COVID-19 pandemic. You had the 2020 shortened season and then 2021 as teams voiced their concern about stretching their pitchers back out for a 162-game season. Ziggy Thomas laces this one into right field. That'll be a base hit for the Eagles right fielder. And William, I haven't heard if the 7-inning doubleheaders. I think that's it. I think they announced kind of last season, but maybe that's something else that's going to be in these ongoing CBA negotiations as the owners are locking out the players currently.
I mean, I would imagine it's something that pretty much all of the players would be in lockstep as something they'd be in favor for, but I think you're right. I think the talk surrounding that is that it was a circumstantial thing that was going to be coming to an end, but the collective bargaining discussions and lockout is still ongoing, so that could be something that could stay around. I personally like it. I think it makes sense just for everyone involved. The players, I think even the fans, no one, 2 9-inning games is tough for anybody, so I hope it sticks around.
Yeah, and I think you can make the argument that it's in the best interest of player safety pitching, having pitchers to go 18 innings. You've got 18 innings of outs to record. And this one down the third base line, it stays fair. Looks like it'll be extra bases for Pagoza. Thomas comes in and stops at third base. And Pagoza with his second double of the game. And the Eagles in business here in the bottom of the fifth. And yeah, 18 innings, that's a lot for those pitchers' arms, and I think I like it. It makes it better as a fan. We already shortened games. Not every Major League Baseball game goes 9 innings. You have some that are ended due to rain delay that are called if they've played 5 innings. And so it's not like it's unheard of to have a Major League Baseball game that's been called before 9 innings. If it's 9 doubleheaders, I think that's probably more true to the spirit of the game, but the game has changed. Pitching has changed. The way these coaching staffs use their pitchers has changed, and I think either way, there's some benefits if they stick with 7 innings or if they go back to 9-inning regular doubleheaders. I like it here. We get 2 7-inning games. You see the coaching staffs probably a little more aggressive with their pitchers. Or maybe not, because you've got to make sure you have enough arms for both games. But it's definitely managed differently and adds another wrinkle. And you saw Hillsborough manager go out there for a mound visit, maybe to give some time for the arms warming up in his bullpen to get loose, as Simprick finds himself in some trouble here. 2 men in scoring position and just the 1 out. Marco Dingus takes first pitch outside for a ball. Doubled back in the second and struck out looking in the third. Hitting cleanup as the Eagles' designated hitter this morning. Now we're into the afternoon. Pitch outside. So 2-0 the count now. We talked about that healthy cushion that TCC's been working with since the second inning. A chance to grow that lead here. This one misses low. 3-0 the count now. And Simprick in danger of walking. The base is loaded. And they're going to go ahead and put Dingus on board with an intentional walk. You set up the double play here with Caleb Abshire at the plate. because one ground ball could get Hillsborough out of the inning and keep them in the game. But now with Abshir up, he already mentioned his ability to draw walks. A walk would lead to an RBI here, but a hit into the gap would lead to 2, if not 3. So here's the first pitch to Abshir, and he takes it for a strike. And a really, I think, pivotal moment here in the game right now with the bases loaded.
One of your better hitters at the plate, a chance to maybe put this game away. Get that final bit of separation that you've been looking for. Get on the other side of the slam, potentially with a base hit.
Pitch from Simprick taken. Strike 2, that one. Moving left to right there on that breaking ball. A nice slider. Finds the strike zone. Abshir couldn't bite at it. Now he finds himself down 0-2.
Corners of the infield are creeped up.
This one on the ground to the second baseman. He bobbles it. Are they able to get Abshir at first? They're not. So the run will score. They did get out number 2 at second base, but Vidal on the transfer had a hard time getting that one to the shortstop Jaime. And that'll make it 5-1. Eagles lead. Abshir reaches first on the fielder's choice, but he gets an RBI to go with it.
Beautiful job by Abshir to leg that one out. Double play would have ended the inning without any runs. So not only do you get that 5th run on the board, but you give Justin Cruz a chance to add on a little more.
So we'll be runners on the corners and 2 outs for Cruz. And an RBI double earlier in this one, and he shows bunt. He does get it down the third base line, but it will be picked up in foul territory. So Cruz, given where he was by the time that got to the into the third baseman's glove, it looked like that would have been an infield single or a bunt single. But it did go just foul and was picked up by Burgess out of play. So it's 0-1 the count now, and interesting to see if Cruz will test Burgess again, who's still back in normal 2-out depth, and try to leg out what would be an RBI bunt single, assuming that Pagosa is able to score, which he would with 2 outs. Now the runners move in. Abshir, that one's taken for a strike. Abshir in at second base. So it is 0-2 the count now. Cruz, you would all but assume that he is going to be swinging away here. Now with 2 runners in scoring position and 2 outs. Simprick comes set. The 0-2 pitch. Cruz sends it high into the air, into left field. It's going to be a tough play, though, as they all converge on it, but it is Hollinsworth that comes down with it. Eagles add 1 to the tally. That's 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We head to the 6th. Eagles leading this one 5-1 on TCCEagles.com. Now we're to the top of the sixth. The Eagles added one back in the bottom half of the fifth. They lead 5-1 with 6 outs to go, and I'm going to turn it back over to my broadcast partner, William Haynes, to provide some play-by-play action.
Thank you, Brett. First pitch, lined into center field, chased by Morrison, and that one is going to be off the wall for a leadoff double. Juan Hamey?
Yeah, didn't even give you enough time to settle into that at-bat before Jaime roped that one into center field for a leadoff double.
First extra base hit of the day for the Hawks. Gets them in business to start off the top of this sixth. Basically fourth inning for Campbell Cleveland. Came in the third with bases loaded and no outs. Got all of them there. And then scoreless innings in the fourth and the fifth. Jacob Griffith now at the plate. First baseman 0 for 1 with the walk. Got on base to start the second. Righty on lefty here. Pitch from Campbell's swung on and missed. Nothing in one is the count. Now this one is foul down the left side. It's a quick 0-2 hole here for Griffith. Eagles get a run back in the bottom of the fifth to grow their lead back out to 4. Now the 0-2 is grounded sharply down the right side, but it's going to go foul. Now another 0-2, and that one is put on the ground to the right side. Cruz can't get to it, so it's going to roll into the shallow right field, and now it gets away from him, and the runner goes to second base. And so a bit of a comedy of errors defensively for the Eagles allows Griffith to get to second base, and it scores Juan Jaime as well.
Yeah, the hit got by Cruz, and I don't think anybody would have expected him to get to that ball. But then it looked like Ziggy Thomas out in right, just couldn't pick the ball up off the ground, and that allows Griffith to move to second on his single, and I think that'll be an E9 as he moves over there.
That's what I've got it as.
Ziggy Thomas, though, a costly error as they get another guy in scoring position, and it's back to just being a 3-run game.
5-2 now the score after an RBI single by Jacob Griffith. So same situation, a man at second with nobody out. It'll be for Dylan Besner this time, the right fielder. 1 for 2, single to lead off the fourth. This one from Cleveland is called a strike on the outside part of the plate.
And yeah, Mr. Robert Meeks just walked into the press box with some hot food from the concession stand, and I think I'm going to have to make a trip down there myself, maybe in between games here.
This one from Cleveland is popped up in the air, and it'll go back behind the screen for a foul ball and strike 2. So Besner's got himself in a quick 0-2 hole.
And I think that's a good advertisement for anyone who hasn't been here at Eagle Field in attendance for a baseball game yet this season. Great hot dogs, hamburgers, French fries. Get to watch a ball game, and we're almost there to that. Right now we're still in that weird winter in Tallahassee where you get some nasty, cold, windy days. But we're almost into March and April. Well, I struggle with the oak pollen up here, but it's some beautiful weather in Tallahassee, especially in the middle of the TCC baseball season.
This 1-2 pitch is put up in the air. Center fielder Pagoza's under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 1. Runner tags from second base to throw over to third to Fernandez, and he's got him out at third. So a beautiful throw in deep center from Josh Pagoza. Nails the runner Griffith over at third. And now a double play there. Base is empty.
What a huge play from Josh Pagoza. He knew right away that Griffith was going to try to take third there. And when you're down 3, you're already in scoring position. It would have just been 1 out. You've got Vidal coming up at the plate. That is a bit of a shocking move to try to take third. You've only got so many outs to work with here before the Eagles can close it out. But Pagoza trying to take the extra bag. And, man, that really hurts for Hillsborough here. But it's a huge play from Josh Pagoza and a big out for the Eagles.
Take some wind out of the Hawks' sail. 2 outs, base is empty here for Andre Vidal. He's 0 for 2. Reached via fielder's choice in the second.
And defense has been huge. We talk about, every miscue they've made, they've backed it up the next play to get back into it. You saw Thomas misplay that ball out in right field, and then, boom, very next play, Pagoza's going to throw him out trying to take third.
2-0. That one is low and inside. And that's actually going to be a walk. Or maybe, did they say it hit him?
No, that was ball 4.
Ball 4. Was a little bit behind in the count there. So we have a 4-pitch walk to Andre Vidal. And so that'll get a man back on the base path for the Hawks. And that'll bring up the left fielder Ty Hollinsworth, who's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. Absher holding the runner at first. Rest of the infield is deep, as that pitch is just outside for ball 1 to Hollinsworth.
Hollinsworth, the number 7 batter. If you can get him out here to end the inning, you'd love to start the 7th with the 8-9 hitters up.
Yeah, absolutely. A potential softer landing spot for whoever would be the next pitcher to come in for the Eagles. Got someone warming up in the pen there down the left field side.
That next pitcher might be coming right now. We'll see Coach Mack's decision here. Sometimes he likes to just take the mound visit. But it looks like this might be it for Campbell Cleveland here.
And it will look like the pitcher warming up in the Eagles bullpen was Grant Harrison. And he's going to come into this game. So as Harrison gets warmed up, we'll step aside. You're watching Eagles baseball on tcceagles.com. as well. And we're back. Grant Harrison's warmed up. He'll come out in the middle of the at-bat. So the line for Cleveland right now, before the runs are all said and done, he pitched 3 1/3, 3 hits, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. He walked the last man, Vidal, and had a 2-0 count to Ty Hollinsworth. So Coach Mack decides to pull the plug on that and goes to the bullpen once more. It'll be Grant Harrison, who's pitched once this season, down in Gainesville this Wednesday, 2 1/3, scoreless, perfect baseball, 4 strikeouts. No base runners allowed, so he comes in with 4 outs left to get, or rather 5 outs left. Not sure if he'll be the one to finish it out. We've got another 7-inning game shortly after the conclusion of this one. 2-1 now the count to Hollinsworth. Here's the pitch, and that one is lined down the left side, but foul. So count even now at 2-2.
And yeah, I'm usually not a fan of pulling the pitcher in the middle of an at-bat, but you look at it, the tying run in the on-deck circle for Hillsborough. You don't want them to put together a threat here in the 6th. You can see that Cleveland was maybe losing the strike zone a little bit, so you want to nip that right in the bud, go to a guy like Grant Harrison who pounds the strike zone, can generate a lot of strikeouts, get yourself to the 7th, where I think it'll be Harrison, but who knows, they might go to someone else. But you don't want to pull the pitcher too late, right? You don't want to see a big hit from the next batter, and then Harrison have to come in a much more difficult situation.
That pitch is called a strike, and that's going to end the inning. So they go to the bullpen, and it ends up paying off. The Hawks do get a run back, so 3-run lead heading into the bottom of the 6th. You're watching Eagles baseball on tcceagles.com. New pitcher out here for the Hawks. It'll be the right-hander Joshua Bostic. I would imagine there's a relation there to the starter Murphy Bostic, who went 3 innings. First pitch from Bostic to Mitchum is called strike 1. So Simprick's day is done. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run allowed, 1 walk, and no strikeouts. Third pitcher on for Hillsborough. That pitch is high and away. Count level at a ball and a strike. 5-2 is your score. Eagles with 3 outs left to get in a 3-run lead, trying to add on some cushion as there's a strike called on the outside part of the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count. From the set, here's Bostic. Grounded towards the left side, picked up by the third baseman Burgess. His long throw to first is good in time for route number 1. So 5-3 on the putout there. The second ground out to third base rather for Mitchum today. He's 0 for 3. And that'll bring up the catcher, Jacob Von Thaden. Thaden 1 for 2. Had a 2 RBI double his first time up in the second. Part of that 4-run inning for the Eagles. That one called a strike there to Von Thaden. 1-1. The count now. Quick pitch there from Bostic, and that's fouled roughly against the bottom of the screen. Straight back. 1-2 now. The 1-2 from Bostic, swung on and missed by Von Thaden. First punch out for Bostic, and with 2 outs and the bases clear, that'll bring up the 9-man Andrew Fernandez. Fernandez 0 for 2.
Hey, you get on base here, who knows? Turn the lineup over one more time.
It would be Zmejkowski to come to the plate if Fernandez reaches. The first pitch to Fernandez. Called a strike. Joshua Bostic working rather quickly. That one is too high. Now the 1-1. And that one is hit well. Center fielder chasing it and is under it there for out number 3. So 1-2-3 inning there, the catch made by Morrison. So with a 3-run lead heading to the top of the 7th, you're watching Eagles baseball on tcceagles.com. So Campbell Cleveland's line is finalized. 3 1/3, 3 hits, 1 run allowed, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Harrison out to try and finish things off, and to hopefully take us to the promised land. I'll turn it back over to Brett Rutherford.
Yeah, 3 outs to go here in the first of 2 games. It's Grant Harrison back out to try and close this one out. First pitch called for a strike.
So in a 7-inning game yesterday, Coach Mack opting to go with Drew Lang for a 4-out save, and here today puts Grant Harrison in the same situation. He last pitched on Wednesday, so he's got some rest.
Another swing and a miss, 0-2. So Mario Lopez, the Hillsborough backstop. Now he'll step out and try to gather himself before the 0-2 pitch. Harrison delivers. This one popped up. It's going to get out of play behind the backstop. Lopez grounded out to short in both of his first two trips. Now finds himself down 0-2 with nobody out here in the top of the seventh. This one misses way outside. 1-2 now. Eagles leading 5-2. Trying to move to 4-0. A four-game winning streak to start the year. Never a bad thing. Lopez. This one into center. Pagosa underneath it. Comes down with it for out number one. That'll bring up Sebastian Burgess. Burgess 0 for 1 on the day. Drew a walk back in the third and then grounded out to Caleb Abshir in the fifth. Harrison set and throws. Strike one. This one misses outside, evens the count at one apiece. This one's sent over the head of second baseman Justin Cruz, and that's into right field for a Sebastian Burgess base hit. That's going to turn the lineup over for Hillsborough. Tying run for them is now on deck. But Eagles moving into double play depth in the infield with one out as a ground ball here could end the game.
Had one of those earlier this week. We'll have video for it this time.
Yeah, I had to do that one old-fashioned radio call. Not old-fashioned. Radio calls still exist, but just not what we were expecting going into the ninth inning. We got that great play at the plate against South Georgia State in the ninth, and then some technical difficulties. Camera went black later that inning. But I can vouch and say that play was an extremely exciting way to end a ball game. That one called for a strike, so 1-1 the count now. Burgess playing it pretty conservatively at first. You want to be able to try to break up a double play if there is a ball on the ground. But you also cannot be an out as a base runner right now as the Hawks try to come back from a 3-run deficit. This one, chopper over to shortstop Smeshkowski. Cruz over to first, not in time. But they get the out at second to make it 2 outs in the inning now. It'll bring up Joshawn Sanchez. And now all you got to focus on is the batter in front of you. And Harrison can escape this with a win and what would be his first save of the season.
Was the final pitcher used on Wednesday in Gainesville, but the nature of the scoring in that one, he ended up getting a win rather than a save.
Right.
He'd also be the second Eagle pitcher to collect a save behind Drew Lang, who already has 2 on the year.
Harrison set. Called, strike one.
Strong fastball from him there. Little bit of extra energy, trying to get the final out of this one, perhaps.
Yeah, Sanchez 0 for 2 with a walk drawn in the third. This will be the biggest at-bat of his day so far. Harrison looks the runner at first. Now comes to the plate. Inside part of the plate, 4 strike 2. Eagles are 1 strike away here. The pitch from Harrison. Swung and missed. Strike 3. Eagles win the first leg of this doubleheader by a score of 5-2. We saw a barrage of hits come in the bottom of the second to give them a 4-0 lead, and they never lost it the whole way through. William, 4-0 start. Chance to make it 5 this afternoon. What a great start to the season for Coach Mac McLeod in this Eagles team.
They've been playing really complete team baseball. You saw the bats come alive today with a barrage of extra base hits, but the defense has been excellent all 4 games this year, and you didn't necessarily get the start that you would have wanted out of Matt Cooper, but the bullpen came in strong as they have all season as well. So really good on all phases, and as you said, a chance to increase it out to 5-0 with a sweep of the doubleheader against Hillsborough coming up shortly.
So we're going to go ahead and end the broadcast here. We'll be right back for Game 2 today. It'll be on a new stream, but you can stay on tcceagles.com/live. You can go ahead and refresh your page. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a new live stream with this one. And for Game 1, Eagles win 5-2, move to 4-0. For William Haynes, I'm Brett Rutherford. This was TCC Baseball on tcceagles.com.